Today's deep cut is Popcorn from 1991, the Canadian horror movie directed by Mark Herrier and Alan Ormsby, starring Jill Schoelen, Tom Villard, and Dee Wallace. Let's get into it. Hey, this is Mike from FearShop.com. Today we're talking Popcorn 1991. Before we get into it, make sure you smash that like button for me. You're going to love the video, so you might as well hit that like button for me now. Leave your comments, let me know what you think of Popcorn. Also, let me know what other types of videos that you want to see. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and set up notifications so you know when the next video drops. We're pumping out 2 or more videos a week, at least 2 videos a week. You know, some special bonus episodes also get dropped every once in a while as well. So definitely appreciate the support. Let's get into it now. So, when a group of film students need to raise some cash, they organize a horror movie festival at a rundown theater, offering Fright fans a selection of old monster movies, complete with their original promotional gimmicks. As a packed house enjoys a triple bill of hokey trash, fictional B-movies, Mosquito, The Amazing Electrified Man, and The Stench, a disfigured killer proceeds to use the movie's gimmicks to bump off the students, while wearing a variety of latex masks to deceive his victims. So, Popcorn, I remember watching this one in the theaters. This movie, you know, early 90s. It has 80s cheese all over it, even though it was a 90s film. It didn't do well in its theatrical run, but quickly became a cult classic amongst horror fans. To this day, not many people still know too much about this underrated horror movie. That's why we're talking about it today in a deep cut segment. It's, you know, Popcorn, also known as Phantom of the Cinema in Finland and Skinner in Germany, which is weird since there's another movie, Skinner, but so be it. So the title Popcorn was linked to an element in the story. The element was removed before the final cut. The producers and distributors liked the title, so it was kept. You know, it would have been nice to have that little tie-in, but at the end of the day, you know, they're in a movie theater, Popcorn, we get it. Makes sense, right? This was such a box office disappointment in the United States that many markets that, you know, it bypassed first-run cinemas, was booked directly into second-run discount cinemas. I believe I saw it in the first-run theater, but I know we did have a theater not too far from us that was basically $1 cinema. You could go watch a movie for $1. Yeah, even back then that was really cheap, even though, you know, the ticket prices were less than half of what they are today. I mean, still $1 was just like, hey, why not? It literally cost more to take the bus to get there than it did to watch the movie, which is always interesting. So while the film flopped in cinemas, you know, it became just an instant cult classic, largely due to its homage to William Castle. I mean, he's the one who's well known for creating theater gags such as the ones depicted in Popcorn. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure that the audiences were ready for a slasher film without a mask and a machete or a kitchen knife. This time in horror cinema was dominated by Friday the 13th and Halloween. So, you know, this you know, Nightmare on Elm Street too. I can't leave that one out as well. So this was just, I just don't think the audience was really ready for it. But, you know, it truly is a shame. So director Mark Herrier did not direct any other feature-length horror movies. He did 2 shorts long after Popcorn. He was an actor in Porky's Revenge. It was strange that he got this gig. Dee Wallace is in the film. She's always great to see in horror movies. She plays a great role in a mother that has a significant history with Lanyard Gates, although she ends up having a small role in the film, which really is a shame. Now, the character of Lanyard Gates was very loosely inspired by eccentric Brazilian filmmaker Jose Morica Marins, who a lot of people know as Coffin Joe, which is actually just a trademark of his. The character first appeared in At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul. And by the way, definitely, maybe I don't know about the whole trilogy, but if you guys should definitely take a look at, you know, I guess we'll say the Coffin Joe trilogy. The later film in the series was probably definitely less weaker than the other two, but they're all pretty good. to watch, and the Coffin Joe character is pretty awesome. All right, as I mentioned before, this is early 90s, so the 80 vibe, it's in full effect here. The dialogue struggles at times, the characters are weird for the most part, but the story is interesting. You might notice there's a lot of reggae music, and the teenagers listen to only the reggae music, and the reason for that is the film was actually shot in Jamaica. It feels strange to watch a horror movie with reggae, but I definitely don't hate Popcorn for it. It just feels out of place. Also, the film is incredibly cheesy for the most part, but the story is smart. To me, this is an original movie. The theater set up, the gags, the gags are set up for the viewers. Like I said, it's an homage to William Castle, but the movie itself was, I think, really well thought out, and I think why it's so memorable to me. It does pay homage to 50s and 60s horror films, all were playing out like an 80s slasher, even though it's released in the 90s. But, Popcorn somehow figured out how to entertain the audience without gore. There wasn't jump scares, there weren't boobs. It almost plays off like a parody of sorts, but just works. The film is most definitely horror, but it is just fun. The films that actually show in the theater are fun films and take me back to a time when monster movies were all the rage. Popcorn is a celebration of B-movies while being one itself. It's lighthearted and fun. Perhaps I enjoy Popcorn too much because it seems like the ghost of William Castle's looking over this movie, but it's well worth a watch, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely seek this one out. The thing that I can say about Popcorn is it's definitely a fun movie to watch in the theaters because you start to look around to see if the theater would pull out some of the stunts that were part of the movie. I just remember I kept looking over my shoulders like, all right, is there going to be a flying insect coming at me? It was just kind of a really fun ride in the theater. If you watch this film, you may start to see where Scream could have got some of its information from. So, definitely a movie that not a lot of people know about, but a movie I think that horror fans, they really need to know about it. You have to seek this one out. Not the easiest movie to find, but it's definitely worth seeking out and enjoying. I think everybody will enjoy Popcorn. All right. So that wraps this video up. Make sure you're smashing that like button for me. If you're still watching, that means you love the video. So hit that like button for me. Leave your comments so I know what types of videos you like to see. Maybe what other types of videos you'd like to cover in a deep cut segment or in a deep dive series or in the awesome or awful series. Love doing all these different categories of videos for you guys. Just let me know if there's certain films you want to see. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, set up notifications so you know when the next video drops. Most of all, just keep it hard.